Good evening and welcome to Two Up Top. I'm Gav Mack. I'm alongside co-host Steven Cotton in the same room. Ooh, you're socially distant from me. Ooh, are you? Why are you not?
You shouldn't have said that because I don't think we actually are, but it's fine.
I can't reach you.
You can be in my bubble.
Yeah, there you go. Who is in our bubble and socially distanced very comfortably is SJ Forrester in the top right. He's alongside us up front. How are you, dude?
All good, all good, all good.
Filthy Liverpool fan. And downstairs is the G. That's Omar Zidane, fellow Gooner. How are you, pal?
I'm good. A bit hungry, but I'm good.
That's all right. Well, hopefully we don't get in the way of your belly too much. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's going on the bottom of the screen right now at Two Up Top Football on all social media. Is at Two Up Top Football as well. And also make sure you download Soccer Manager 2021 on the 14th of September. It's available on all platforms, so you'll be able to get it from the App Store and the Google Play Store. How shiny is that? Wonderful stuff. Right then, let's talk about stuff.
Let's talk about stuff.
So last night was the Champions League final. Bayern Munich 1, PSG 0. Were you overwhelmed or underwhelmed by the whole performance? Let's go to you, SJ.
For me, it was a functional performance from Bayern Munich. I tipped them to win it, actually. I tipped them to win it, but once people got knocked out, they just had a nice balanced side. I think after the Barcelona demolition, like Liverpool fans know about that sort of thing, I think it's got to a point where everyone had major expectations.
Already.
Listen, I've got it good. So the fact that we're handing over the trophy to worthy winners like Bayern, I'm like, fair play. But I don't rate PSG, guys. I have to be honest. I just don't rate PSG. Sorry.
I don't think we do either. To be fair.
Yeah.
What did you think of the game?
What's that based on, SJ?
What, for PSG?
Yeah.
I think with PSG, I think they're just a collection of individuals.
Okay.
That's it, really. Look, I can touch on Neymar as well. Look, he's not even on my top 5 Brazilians.
Fan, yeah.
Yeah, he's not my top 5 Brazilians. He's not. I think he's talented, but I think the histrionics that go with it don't match his talent at all. And he's a long way off being Messi or Ronaldo, a long way.
I'd also say, with PSG, I'd also say, obviously you've got Neymar and Mbappe, but if you look at the rest of the squad, it's not particularly great. Like, Wan Bernat isn't a world-beater left-back. Thiago Silva's 35. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thiago Silva's 35. Kimpembe's young and still makes silly mistakes.
Kehrer right back.
And then you look at the midfield as well. I love Herrera, but I loved Herrera to bits, but is he good enough to be in an elite midfield?
No. Exactly.
Paredes started, and then so it's pretty much Neymar and Mbappe and friends. That's it. And PSG are a good team, but they're not world class.
You guys wouldn't put Verratti in that?
Yeah, I rate Verratti. That's why I didn't say I left him out because I didn't want to say that he was bad or anything. I rate Verratti. Apparently, according to one of our friends, Marco Verratti is not as good as Aaron Ramsey.
Mate, don't get me nibbling already. We're literally like 2 minutes into the show and I'm already going to start biting because Marco Verratti is up there. He's up there with the world's best. I'm not saying he's world class, but he's up there with the world's best.
I think people just don't like him because he's like 4'9". Like,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
You know what? I don't even rate that highly. The way you got to look at it, guys, is like this. If you had 200 million to spend on a striker, right? 200 million, he doesn't even come into your top 10. He doesn't.
Who, Neymar?
Verratti, he's good, but he's not like, again, he's not the sort of person you think, you know what? Gotta have him. I've got to have him. You don't.
Well, I like him, but he didn't start the game.
No,
the original team sheet said that Maximovic was going to start, or Maximovic, depending on where you come from, and they started Paredes in the middle of the park instead of Marquinhos, who's actually a centre half.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
And they were playing him as a CDM, and that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, but they
Verratti's a better Jorginho as well, and everyone bangs on about Jorginho, and Verratti's 10 times the midfielder that Jorginho is.
What about Bayern's performance, though? Because Bayern's winning goal comes from Kingsley Coman, who is actually a product of PSG. So how much of a kick in the teeth is that?
Yeah, but this is the reason why this is my issue with with PSG and to a certain degree Man City, manufactured success, which is what they are, all right, generally, especially Man City. PSG in their league, they play a hard game every 8 weeks because they're that good, right? Hard game every 8 weeks. Now, what they do is because they're now of the mindset that they want to win. They want to win trophies. They're not trying to build. They just want to win the trophies. They'll pay whatever it is to win the trophies. That's why when they buy players, how much thought process actually goes into into their players. They say, right, well, I need a left side centre half because this is happening. Or okay, Silva's 35. Who can we bring in who can learn from a good season or two seasons learning from him? To which they when he gets phased out, we've got ready-made replacement. They haven't.
Was that not supposed to be Marquinhos?
Yeah, again, but so what happens? That means they have Marquinhos and look, defensive. I don't think they're all that. I think they're weak. So that means you're thinking, okay, when Silva goes, they're thinking, right, they've got to replace him. Plus, Marquinhos has got to move back. They've got too much going on. They got way too much going on. Then you look at Kingsley Coman. He's a prime example of if they were patient, then in essence you're talking could would have been Kingsley Coman turned up for them yesterday, with alongside Mbappe or whatever instead of Neymar. You don't know, but for me, it's just like, and that's why it's a good thing for me. Honestly, the fact that they lost, I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's not good for football at all. If they win, it shows that basically.
Yeah. I think yesterday was a win for football, wasn't it? Because it was a case of wasn't just splashing the cash to just buy the title. And we had a discussion the other day, and we were saying that okay, yeah, fair enough. Bayern hold the monopoly in Germany, and they did get Lewandowski for free off their rivals. They got Goetze for free off their rivals, Goretzka. But they haven't spent absorbent amounts of money. When they do business, it's good business. Signing Leroy Sané for 50 million or whatever it is an absolute joke.
They're smart.
That's such a steal.
They're smart with their business.
Like they've built that squad over a period of time, and they're a cohesive unit. They're so good.
But there's an imbalance on German football. You know, they monopolise. They monopolise the television money. They get absurd amounts. You got to bear in mind. Okay, fine, everyone's lauding them now. But then when you think about the fact when Klopp was over there, Borussia Dortmund. Every year he was unable to prevent his best player going to Bayern Munich. You can't stop it. You know, like basically the players were literally coming out of Germany. If they leave Germany, let's say something like Timo Werner, they're thinking, okay, well, do you know what? If they want him, I think they could have gone for him. You know, it's like the same with Kai Havertz. If they want him, they'll go for him. But they're thinking, well, you know, for 90 million, okay, fine, we'll keep it. We got Kimmich and the other guys to play in there and blah blah blah. It's all right, but you know, again, like they get the most amount of TV money from German football. Like it's a stupid percentage, like about 65-70%. Everyone else is scratching around like chicken feed.
Yeah.
Let's go around the room because we're assuming that Robert Lewandowski is the best player in world football right now.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
I personally would.
No, it's Kevin De Bruyne.
I personally would. So, okay, you're going with Kevin De Bruyne. If we're assuming that Robert Lewandowski is number one.
Okay.
In the room.
Okay.
Who is the second best player in the world and who's the third best player in the world?
Kevin De Bruyne doesn't even need a second thought. Is number two. Number three. Number three.
Do you know what, guys? As good as they are, as painful as it is to say this, those two are still the best players in the world.
What, Messi?
Based on this season, you would have that right now. You're in control of. You are a captain of a big club and an international footballer. You're putting your vote in for Ballon d'Or this season. You are putting 1, 2, 3 of.
Yeah, but things, guys, we know Phil. That's a popularity contest. We know that.
Of course, but you still got to go with your heart.
Yeah, yeah. So you get to choose. What would you choose? Number 1, 2, and 3.
If I was honest, I think like Kevin De Bruyne is up there, as in like instead of that midfielder, he's up there for sure. I just think with Ronaldo and Messi, they're just that good, and even like they're good is some players' best ever. That's the levels they're at. And the thing is, we're sport. Because normally you get these players once every 20 years, 25 years, whatever. We've had two at the same time. And it's crazy. Their stats are crazy, everything. And these guys are still, 33, 34, and they're still relevant. They're still, irrespective of what happens with Barcelona, you know, Barcelona losing in the Champions League, that's not Messi. That's because Barcelona as a team, that it's Messi and 10 others. 8 of them are old. It's substandard. That's Barcelona.
It's a bit like the PSG situation, isn't it? These two are friends. Omar, where were you going with this? Because, as I said, I'm assuming that Lewandowski should be winning the Ballon d'Or this year if it was going to be going ahead.
My understanding is they've reinstated it, haven't they?
No, they've got the World Player of the Year. The FIFA World Player of the Year. They're doing that, but the Ballon d'Or, obviously, that's a Spanish thing, isn't it? But yeah, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Based on this season, I would say Lewandowski deserves it. But I'm kind of inclined to agree with SJ here. Messi.
The football banter is going to be like, what? You two agreed on something? What's going on
here? Yeah. I'm going to have a drink after this. But Messi recorded his worst stats for quite some time. And in terms of goal involvement, I believe Lewandowski is the only person in front of him this season.
Do you know what? If they awarded Lewandowski like Footballer of the Year, well, not Footballer of the Year because we had an argument about that. If they gave him the Ballon d'Or because they've won the treble, haven't they?
Yes,
and he scored 30. He scored 40 goals in all competitions. That's fair enough. I could understand them giving it to him, but I can't agree that he's the best footballer in the world right now. No way. It's either, again, I agree with the guys. It's either Ronaldo, Messi, or you've got to put De Bruyne up there.
See, I would go Lewandowski number 1. I'm going KDB number 2, and I'll actually give it Van Dijk as number 3. Okay, actually,
before you said, I was going to say as well, I would give it to Jordan Henderson, because apparently he's the greatest midfielder the world's ever seen.
Better than Gerrard, mate. SJ, you're a Liverpool fan, so what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Jordan Henderson?
Do you know,
as a footballer,
he's functional. He's functional. Jordan Henderson will give you 7 out of 10 every week. If he gives you a 9, it's because he's played out of his skin and like Space Jam and inherited powers from Messi or something. Like, you know, he's functional. But Jordan Henderson epitomizes Liverpool Football Club because we are a sum of all its parts. We actually haven't got stars. Every buy we made, when we bought Van Dijk, a lot of people laughed at 75 million. Laugh now, right? When you bought Alisson, but you put 7 past him. Laugh now. So when we get players like Klopp's done right, like every player's coming, he's not every player, but a large percentage, he's improved. So when I look at Jordan Henderson, he completely epitomizes what Liverpool are about. Functional, works hard. You know, the will to win is crazy at the moment. Like I've never seen anything like it. But that's what we are. We grind you down.
I get that, but I had a massive issue with him winning the. It was the Football of the Year.
Football of the Year.
He won Football of the Year, and everyone's reasoning for it. They were like, he's a great leader. He's great on the pitch. He's great in the dressing room. Okay, brilliant. The next year, have the David Brent Jordan Henderson Player Leader of the Season award. Cool. It's Footballer of the Year. Kevin De Bruyne has been the best footballer in the Premier League, hands down.
But guys, this is the thing. There are 2. Okay, there's a football writers one, or there's a players one. If I'm a footballer, I know which one I want to win. The Players Player of the Year, and that's what.
I get that.
That's the De Bruyne one. The football writers one. Okay, in fact it's a popularity contest. Now, to be fair to Henderson, he comes across as a good guy, but I think it's what he did with the drive in terms of what during the pandemic, during the lockdown, and how he reached out to all the other. It's perfect for them. He reached out to all the other club captains. Let's do this. You know, so it's perfect for them. And that's the sort of thing, really. If that's what they're basing it upon, what he's done off the pitch as well, then you'd look at, I don't know, someone like BBC Sports Personality of the Year. He should be up for that as well, because that's another popularity contest, right?
He should be up for that instead of Football of the Year. But I get what you mean. Yeah, like he has done well. The Nivea skin cream adverts are top notch.
They're banging. Like... Omar, where do you stand with Jordan Henderson?
He works well for Liverpool. He works well for Liverpool.
Arsenal?
Of course,
probably not.
He's a winner.
Probably not. Interesting. Okay, no, I'm intrigued to understand that. I mean, everyone's entitled to opinion. That's why we love football. Football's an opinion thing. So yes, Omar, I'm very intrigued to hear your reasoning for not taking him at Arsenal.
All right.
He's having to think now. He said it, and now he's having to think.
No, I want to word this correctly before I offend anybody. Yeah.
I think you're offending the world at the moment.
All right. So you look at our midfield now.
Yeah. Non-existent.
And then you look at some of the players who have been linked. Partey being the main example here.
Yeah.
If Partey was to come in, where would Henderson fit around that?
Well, I would see Arsenal playing a 4-3-3. That's how I'd like to see it. Xhaka's actually proved himself this year, so he's going to go in. Partey, Xhaka, Hendo. That's what I would do. And Hendo and Partey would just sit nicely, comfortably together in a sort of like a midfield two with Xhaka in behind those.
I honestly think I have more chance of having a party with Rihanna than you are of getting Partey.
Yeah, it looks like it's not happening. AJ is watching the show. He said that Henderson wouldn't fit into Arsenal's style of play. Arsenal don't really have a style of play.
Yeah, because he's half decent.
Arsenal don't really have a style of play right now.
Because he's a man, he doesn't get bullied. You have to understand that Henderson has played centre back, right back, the 6 and the 8 at Liverpool, right? In this season alone. Okay, that includes when he did the World Club stuff, right?
World Club Cup, he played centre half, didn't he?
Exactly. So I would never say he's a fantastic footballer. He is a functional footballer. So if you were in training and they said right, who's the top 5 sprinters here? He might figure. Who's the top 5 shooters? He might figure. He's that sort of person. He might finish 5th, 4th, 5th, whatever. But that's him. He's very James Milner-esque, obviously a little bit more, but he's just a functional footballer. But what he's done is that the difference between Henderson and many of the more talented footballers is that Henderson has applied himself. And listen, mate, talent is 1%, application 99%. He has applied himself. Just imagine he's lifted the Premier League trophy for Liverpool. Henderson, out of all the captains you've had before, him. Crazy.
And plus for him, if you're going to grow up in a place like Sunderland.
Yeah,
you've done well to come out.
Yeah. For me, I just think that I look at Liverpool every time that Henderson is missing, Liverpool do not perform at all. So that's why I like to put him in the mix of certain things. And he's had 3.5 incredible seasons. The one where you almost won the title in 2014, he was unplayable. In 2015-16 season, he was incredible. Hey, sit down. And then the season just gone, and half of last season. That's why where the half comes.
See, okay, so look,
been instrumental.
So when the Gerrard slip season, 14-15, when he got sent off against Man City, I think that was a turning point in that, right?
Capitulation.
Yeah, because they just had the balance. Rodgers had that 11, where Henderson was fundamental to that 11, his best 11, right? I don't look. That 14-15 season. If we'd have won the league then, the same thing would happen the following season. We would have struggled the following season because it's purely because Suarez just had a ridiculous season. We weren't defensively. We were dreadful. Especially with Mignolet in goal. Every shot, Mignolet, like was every 3 shots was a goal. Every 3 shots was a goal. I mean,
yeah, it was one of those. It's very Kevin Keegan football that you were playing that year, and you needed someone with a bit more steel.
Terrible.
And with a couple of injuries, you haven't got that sort of leadership on the pitch. You are going to struggle, and this is where I feel that Henderson is key because he is a leader of men. And personally, I'll trigger a lot of Liverpool fans here. I personally think that he's a better captain, than Steven Gerrard.
You know what? Honestly, I think I'm waiting for Harry Hill to walk in now, like one of them bloopers. Like never,
serious.
Never.
Being serious. As a player,
I'm sorry. If you put Gerrard in that team that had Van Dijk, Mane, Salah, like they'd have won the league 5 years ago. They'd have won the league 5 years ago. It's not even close.
It's a personal opinion.
He was. Listen, Gerrard was on it. That's why. Listen, when they talk about Gerrard,
Gerrard was playing with Andre Voronin, man. Come on.
And Konchesky and Poulsen, those sort of players. You know what? Those players, they gave me hope. Even after I butchered my Achilles, I still thought, when I saw those players play for Liverpool, like Konchesky, Paulson, those dry players, even on crutches, I thought, I still got half a chance. I thought I could still make it, and I was 40, and I thought, I can make it here, because they were awful. So
who brought in Konchesky?
Yeah, I mean, he was dreadful. They were garbage. You put Gerald in this team now.
Hodgson won it, yeah.
Oh, he's awful. Hodgson. Awful. What a terrible team.
Just had a comment from Anthony saying, having seen the Liverpool style and Bayern style, do you think more teams will adopt the high press, quick athletic football? Have you been watching football for the last 5 years? That's literally what everyone tries to play now.
Yeah, but not everyone's good at it.
Not everyone's good at it, but everyone's trying.
Is it going to be something that is going to be sort of like widespread?
Everyone's trying to adopt it. Everyone plays like that. If you watch the Champions League and you watch the Europa League, how many teams were just hammering? And if they weren't hammering, they were being hammered by someone doing a high press all the time. And unless you are very, very, very much the underdog and you sit back and soak up Sevilla, then that. But everyone's trying to play that high press. Everyone.
Look, unless you've got quick centre halves, you can't play a high press.
No, people they try it, but they don't do it well.
Yeah, unless that's the reason why, we kind of get away with it. If you've got quick centre halves, you'll get away. That's why with Bayern as well. The fact they've got David Alaba, he's got a bit of pace on him. Like they can play the high press.
Lucas Hernandez, when he's fit, he's absolutely rapid.
Yeah.
Boateng's getting old, but he's still very fast. He's still very fast.
Yeah.
The slowest player in that Bayern team is probably Kimmich, and
no, it's Süle.
Süle is. But he is like 6'5". So.
Yeah, which is that's no excuse. Usain Bolt 6'5". Right then, let's then go on to our next subject.
I'm 6'6", and you know how slow I am.
Should the FA Cup winners get Champions League football? Omar,
I wouldn't be against it at all. What's the situation in the other European countries? Do their cup winners get Champions League?
No. This is no cup winners get it. But it's just back in the day.
I wouldn't be against it, and it's an incentive. It's definitely an incentive, and it makes the cup more attractive. But at the same time, I would want it, if we were going to do it over here, I'd want it to be across the board in all the countries.
Yeah, I think it's a fair shout, Omar.
I saw a conversation that someone started today that basically, it might have even been BBC, but they were saying that should the Champions League literally just be 16 league winners from the top 16 UEFA coefficient ranked? So it would be Ajax, it would be Liverpool this year, it would be Bayern, and just literally have a Champions tournament.
Like how it used to be.
Frankly. I'd love that, but then obviously there's too much money and stuff in it now. They just could. They wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare now. They'd have to make another tournament for that. There'd have to be an add-on. Like the Nations League, something awful like that.
So really just get everyone involved.
Yeah.
Where do you stand with it, SJ?
Imagine if you won 5 games and end up in the Champions League, and that's why I'm against it. I think it sounds awful, but we need to have the European Cup, UEFA Cup, and the Cup Winners' Cup. Personally, I'd like the Cup Winners' Cup to come back. I quite like that. You want to have the winners of only. You want to have the winners of only. Bring back the Cup Winners' Cup and have just the winners in that. Then that's one thing you could do. But again, hey, but I don't agree with you winning 5 games and getting the Champions League. I don't agree with that at all. Because
do you think it's a bit suspect? Do you think it's a bit suspect that the person asking the question supports a team that finished like 9th and didn't get into the Champions League but won the FA Cup?
Oh, come off it!
Do you think that's a little bit suspect?
No.
No, but listen.
That is not my reason behind it. I just feel like
other than Arsenal winning it this season,
I think it's a reward for success.
Other than Arsenal winning it this season, hold on. Other than Arsenal winning it this season and Wigan like 5 or 6 years ago, when was the last time someone won the FA Cup that wasn't already in the top 4?
Yeah.
So then what? You're going to give?
But then hold on. Should it be top 4? Should it be top 4 that are getting into the Champions League? Are you then going to be top 3?
Okay, but if you're saying, if we're saying the winner gets Champions League, so if the winner's already in the Champions League, Are you saying that the
and then it would get then it would come down to a league position?
If it was a cup final between United and Chelsea, we both finished fourth. Then who gets it? Who
no, because then it would be 3 teams. So like the top 3 that go into the Champions League, and then if you win the FA Cup, you go to the Champions League if you are in the Prem, and if you are in the top 3 position already, then you award it to 4th place.
But
okay, so what about
the money?
What about the beaten finalists then? So imagine Chelsea beat. Yeah, so imagine
they took that away, didn't they? They took that away in 2014, didn't they?
Yeah.
And you know why they did that? Because the FA didn't want teams like Wigan or Millwall representing us. That's the reason why. Yeah. It's a coefficient as well. If they go there, they get smashed out in the qualifiers. Then we lose ranking points. We lose the Champions League spot and all the rest of it. Blah 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 blah. You know, so the league, the way the Champions League places are given out, they're designed to ensure that we have 4 teams in the Champions League every year. You know, they're designed.
So going on what we were saying about that Champions League format, Adam has just said that this year was the first since 1997 that was made up of domestic champions from the previous season.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
How odd. That is really odd.
Yeah, but then this is almost like being rewarded for success. Like 4th place is a trophy nowadays, isn't it? Everyone uses wind up Arsenal for it, but Arsenal only came 4 times, I believe. Like in the
when was the last time you did that?
2000. When we came 4th, I can't remember the last time we came 4th. Actually, I think it was 2014.
But can you imagine?
22nd in the 2 horse race in 16.
Yeah, but come on, like you imagine like 15, 20 years of always finishing in the top floor, and you're entering a competition that, you know, like, I mean, beating finalists. That's it. Even your invincible team, you were just like, honestly, like 120 odd years in existence, and Arsenal think they're a European superpower. You're not.
Do you know what I'd say as well? Like, again, I'm not gonna start bashing Arsenal, right? But Arsenal finishing in a Champions League spot and Manchester United finishing in a Champions League spot. We only want to finish in a Champions League spot so we can attract the players to the big transfers. When you finish Champions League, you still don't go and attract big names and sign big players.
I think that's. I sort of disagree with that, and the reason why
name a big sign.
No, the reason why I disagree with it is because when Arsenal were
don't say Nicolas Pepe.
No way. Oh, I'm not bringing Pepe into this conversation. It's more the fact that it took a long time for Arsenal to then start looking at signings because of the stadium. And then once the stadium had already been paid off or whatever, then we were already starting to go down a decline.
You sound like a Tottenham fan.
No, we don't have the money to spend.
Talking about money on stadiums.
True story. Man United are one of the richest clubs. They've got a good bank balance. They've got able to
700 million in debt.
Manchester United is 700 million in debt. Manchester United PLC is very much in the black. So it's over 2 windows.
Liverpool
got good players, and when they sell them on, they're able to get good money for them. Because if you look at their bank balance over the last 5 years or so, the transfers that they've made, it's very.
Listen, I don't want to hear about net spend and interest in the bank or whatever.
It's a true story, though.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's more important for a team like us or Liverpool to finish Champions League or finish top 4 to attract those players than I think it is for you lot. Like you said, because of the stadium and stuff, Arsenal, that money goes straight into the pocket. It doesn't get recirculated into the club. I mean, in the last 2 or 3 years, Aubameyang, Pepe, and Lacazette, and that's the only 3 times in the last 10 years I can think of Arsenal spending big and buying like an established name.
Ozil, Sanchez. I mean, not be funny, like,
Sanchez,
and even quality players.
With Sanchez, me and you agree on this, right? And I will die on this hill that if Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich are selling a player and are happy to let him go, there's a reason. Barca wanted to get rid of Sanchez. It wasn't a case of Arsenal was just too much of a head turner for him to go, should I stay at Barca? Should I go to Arsenal? They wanted him out the door, man, because Neymar was coming, and that was it. Like, and again, how much you pay for him? 30 mil?
Yeah, not a lot.
It wasn't a lot of money, man. They wanted him gone, and he wanted to go to the Prem. So
yeah, That's a fair shout. I mean, look, with the Ozil thing again, I think too much emphasis is placed upon Real Madrid and Barcelona. They are clubs who, they unsettle the player. They will destabilize. Yep. They finally bring them in, and a year later they cast them aside. There's no sustainable plan. There's no project there. It's like, you know what? It's their scouting is probably on like a BBC like gossip page. It's a gossip. Someone said that player, we're going as well. You tell me when they really go and buy something that's a bit left field of them. They never do, right? They get players. Look, Samuel Tete.
Bars with Martin Braithwaite, and that was just that was a shady move.
That was ridiculous.
You were 100% right with the Barca thing, and that is why. Well, the Barca and Real Madrid thing, and that is why Barca and Real Madrid, even though Real Madrid won the league this year, are in the state that they're in because they've just gone out and tried to buy names or unsettle players they wanted, and now, like you said, they cast them aside, and they're both left with disjointed teams with mishmash of styles and players. You look at the Real Madrid team; it's such a hodgepodge of who are you? Not so much who are you, but like why are you there? What are you doing to justify being there? It's a weird one.
Comment from Anthony again. Money has ruined football. Financially, Ajax can't repeat what they did when they won it in 1995 with the academy players. Simon Jordan is right in terms of football needing a financial reset. So that actually wonderfully segues into my next question. Should a salary cap be introduced?
No, pointless. Too many easy ways around it. They introduced a salary cap in the 80s, didn't they? And what did they do with Fashanu? He was at his max cap of how much he was allowed a week, and then they literally added things like unused substitute. A fee was like another couple of grand. Goal bonus was astronomical. Then you could literally, put me on 20 grand a week, but then as a striker, I'll get 100 grand when I score. I'll get 50 grand for an assist. Like it's way too easy to just move around.
And you know what, guys? The way I look at it is like this, okay? When people say footballers earn too much, at the end of the day, we're facilitating that, right? If we didn't buy a shirt or buy a subscription or whatever, then they can't earn that money. So equally, that's one part. The second part I think about as well is that if you went to work tomorrow and your boss said to you, do you know what, mate? You're doing such a good job. We're going to double your salary. Are you going to say no?
You're not going to say no.
Exactly. No, exactly. You're not going to go, sorry, mate. No, I appreciate the gesture, but I'm a big man. I don't need it. And also, if you were at your job, if you were stacking shelves at Tesco for £10 an hour and the geezer from Sainsbury's comes around and goes, here, mate, come to my place. I'll give you £15 an hour. Again, what are you going to say no? No, you're gone, aren't you? And the thing is, I think people forget as well with footballers, it's such an actual short career for how old they are. Like you have to be in a club at the age of 4 if you want to make it pro. You have to train, eat, sleep, breathe, just do everything to try and become a professional for 18 years. And at the end of that, you might turn 18 and you won't get signed by anyone. And then what? You've put so much focus into it. You've got no skills, no trade. And you do end up just getting a normal job. So if someone's put 20 years of their life into a career and they've pushed hard and they've only got another 10 years left in their field of work, pay them. And like you said, the fans are facilitating it. It's a business. The clubs wouldn't be paying people 200 grand a week if they weren't worth astronomically more to the club than they're getting paid.
Bingo.
Like, when Pop was on like 300 grand a week, right? I'm telling you now, that man must bring in $1 million a week for the club in sponsorships, in people buying his shirts, in people buying stuff that he's a part of, like Adidas and stuff. Like again, I pour pints for a living. Like I get paid X amount an hour, right? How much do you think I'm making that man in an hour on sales?
Yeah,
100 times what I'm getting paid. And that's the same thing. Like there's.
But that's the thing, guys.
Bankrupt to try and...
That's the thing, guys. Like footballers get penalised left, right, and centre, right? So everyone's saying to footballers, you're earning stupid amounts. Silly money, should be a wage cap. Okay, if you want to have wage caps, then it's got to go across all industries. How is it that pharmaceutical companies who make stupid amounts of money for giving out dud tablets and placebos, nobody else says you should get capped? Nobody else says that. Mm-hmm. Why? You know what I mean? So it's too easy for us to always look at football and say, well, you're earning too much. You should be earning that for playing the sport.
Yeah, well, do you know what as well, right? I'm massively against City like just coming in and spending their money. But as Anthony's just said, if we don't financially change, then we will get more Man City's, Charlton, Sunderland, Wigan stories, etc. I get that, but at the same time, right? Hold on. And as much as I hate this argument, I also understand it. You look at Everton and Liverpool, right? Stones throw away from each other. Yeah. Everton, in our lifetime, will never, ever, ever get close to being near Liverpool unless they were financially backed and they brought players. There's no way they could ever close that gap.
My argument against that one is we want yeah, SJ loves that one. SJ loves that. No, my argument is this. Now, I am a big fan, I'm a big advocate of shopping local and using small businesses. But if that small business, a coffee shop on the corner of town, is struggling financially, our Starbucks going to go in there and give them a few quid? No, they're not.
Was it when Bury were in trouble and everyone was like, "Why aren't United stepping in?" It's like, hold on, again. If Staples, if my local stationery shop on Giles Street, it went out of business. Exactly, Staples didn't come in and go, "Oh, don't worry, lads. Here's 500 grand. Get yourself square again, and we'll try again." That's not. It's a business. It's not how it works. The only thing we need.
That's tough. That's tough.
It is tough, but what we need to make sure of is it's not the finances in football. It's the owners.
Yeah.
Because with me and Gav from Northampton, and obviously what happened a few years ago, where the chairman of the Cobblers siphoned 12 million off the council, took the money, bolted, didn't finish the stadium, and we were 1 day from completely being liquidated. And that's nothing. The club hasn't done anything wrong. It's been fine.
It's not the club's fault.
The chairman has literally taken the money.
The actual town now is
bankrupt.
Pretty much. The town got done by it because the money was borrowed from the council.
F1 drivers took a pay cut. Hamilton may take. Honestly, right? Please do not. Do you know how much money Lewis Hamilton gets to drive around in a circle for 2 hours? He gets like $2 million a race without even adding sponsorships onto that. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that mess at all.
Omar, I didn't get much from you, Omar, in terms of whether a salary cap should be introduced. Do you think it would be a benefit or a hindrance to the game?
I don't think it should be introduced. Like SJ said, again, it needs to be across the board. These footballers, it's not their fault they're earning what they're earning.
Yeah.
If they obviously they know, they see other players earning this amount of money, what the amount of money in football, they know what they can go and ask for. And if it's been given to them, they're not going to say no, are they?
No, I agree. I just see you see it in basketball, in NFL. It's very American-y sort of thing where salary caps come in, and it does seem to work relatively.
But then you're going to have other sponsorships as well. They're going to be taking the money from elsewhere.
Exactly. But again, I just had to look at it just out of curiosity. So Lewis Hamilton signed a new contract with Mercedes February of last year. He's, regardless of where he finishes in races, because obviously then there's bonuses if you win, etc.
Yeah. Lewis
Hamilton is on £769,000 per week. So he is taking home 40 mil a year. Mm-hmm. And I know people will tell me F1's dangerous and stuff, and I get that, but obviously nowadays you've got break. It's quite a lot assisted sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you're telling me 40 mil a year to drive around in a circle is a lot different to a footballer kicking it like ball around.
For me, I see that as a I see that as a I'm happy for that hit, because there are certain sports like Formula 1 and golf and tennis where there is still a certain stigma and there's an entry needed in order to do those sort of things. So I'm glad that Lewis Hamilton is doing that, and I'm glad he's making that much money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad he's going to win more
titles. But like,
it's not just Lewis Hamilton. We look at Lewis Hamilton because he's British.
We're literally just seeing
it now.
It's
more like you look at Vettel and look at
Lewis Hamilton will earn 10 million a year more than Ronaldo does at Juventus, and people give Ronaldo. I think the only thing that irks me about the whole F1 thing is everyone always recircles that quote. And I know if you don't like football, you don't like football, cool. But everyone always reshares that Guy Martin quote where it's like overpaid people kicking a bag of wind around a pitch, blah blah. And he's motorsport.
Yeah.
So how can you whinge about Rashford being 120 grand a week when your star man's on 40 mil a year. Like,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Got a couple more subjects, but sorry, SJ, carry on.
Yeah, sorry, but just at the point there, like Lewis Hamilton is known around the world more than what Ronaldo is. You think you
I don't know.
Think about it.
I don't know.
Think about it.
I think Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo is the most followed person on Instagram.
Yeah,
that may be so. But again, if you think about it, right? Where all the Grand Prix are, they're in Australia, in blah blah blah. They're in places where football is big, but it's not that big. Football's big in Europe.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Again, but it's football in Europe, in particular continents. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, the reason why it's like I'm happy.
But honestly, fair play to Hamilton. Get that back. Like, I'm not saying he shouldn't be. Again, like I was saying a minute ago, he's obviously worth way more to McLaren than what they're actually paying him. But people using the footballers' pay scheme and what other sports are as an example, as a comparison, is stupid. You look again, we're going further afield, but you look at baseball. My man signed a new deal this year. It was like a 150 mil deal.
Yeah.
Like, what's that? That's a hit. He's playing rounders.
King Pat Mahomes.
Playing rounders and getting paid 150 mil.
King Pat Mahomes. Just letting everybody know. Just signed a 500 mil deal.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, right? I'm happy because he's staying with my team for 10 years. I've had to deal with Liverpool type pain for the last God knows how long, and now we're Super Bowl champions, and King Pat Mahomes is at the wheel, mate.
F1 teams have now disagreed a pay cut for 2021. It's probably just because of the COVID and that all the manufacturing has taken a hit and stuff like that. That's the only reason why. It's not because they've not done it out of morality or they've thought, maybe there's too much money in it.
But you mentioned morality, okay, with COVID, right? And this is one of the things. Look, I'm honestly, I like my football. I don't hate a club. You know, I might have a dislike some, but I don't really hate any football club. If they score a good goal, I'll give them props here, good goal, whatever, no problem. My thing was with Arsenal, which is what I thought was out of order, was that before the lockdown, Ozil was starting games, right? Irrespective, we were starting 10 of Arteta's games, all 10, right? Then they wanted to take a pay cut. He wasn't the only one who refused to take a pay cut. He wasn't the only one, right? And then since then, he's been frozen out. So, and even before that, they were trying to get him at the club. So you think, hang on 1 minute, you know, it's like he's a punch bag. So get at the club. Okay, he won't get the club. Then they play him like you take now do us a favor and take a pay cut. They've got to think about how he got to that point in the first place. There was a point before where 3-4 years ago when they gave him the contract, they were begging him to stay. He could have gone whatever. I still think he should have gone Man U and Sanchez should have gone to Man City. They went to the wrong clubs or whatever. But it's that sort of thing. The way they've treated him. It's appalling. It's actually appalling. He wasn't the only player who refused a pay cut. There were others who refused a pay cut as well. And to make matters worse, to compound matters, Arsenal bringing Willian for 100 grand a week. You make 55 redundancies, and those 55 redundancies would never be 100 grand a week. They'd probably be more like 15 grand a week, if that. And
these are people of different areas. This 55 grand does get banded. 55 people get banded around quite a bit. Now, one of those people,
like match day stewards and stuff, which obviously there's no
which they're not going to need at the moment. One of the people that was actually made redundant or asked to leave, one of those 55 was Raul Sanelli as well, who has been pretty much giving money away from the club. So that 55, there's more to it. It's not Janice the tea lady and Mark the chef.
Anthony said it's the new Concord agreement, which financially even out the competition. That's fine, but okay, so everyone's agreed to take a pay cut, but Lewis Hamilton will still be on X percentage more than your next man. Like, okay, they've all dropped down like a bracket, but he will still be. Okay, maybe not even using Hamilton as an example, but Vettel will still be earning.
That's what I mean. Ricciardo will be earning.
Toro Rosso, if they're even still a Formula 1 team, I don't know.
Verstappen.
So what's the solution? Do we carry on like we are? I mean,
it's got to be a reset button somewhere.
It's a business, mate. It's a business, and like we said, the more that we all keep watching Sky, the more that we all keep watching BT. Even if you stream it illegally, like you're still going to go to a game. You're still putting money into football. And if you stop watching it, and if you don't watch it on Sky, you better believe that 26 million people on a Super Sunday are still watching it, and they are going to the games. Like, And unless you literally, I mean, it's a business and it's progressing. 10 years ago, a transfer fee for 30 million was like, ooh. Now 30 million wouldn't even buy you. It wouldn't even buy you a flump. Like it just.
Well, exactly what you said. Adam O'Connor said, whilst the customer is paying, it will continue.
Exactly. That's it.
Let's. I've got two more subjects that I would like to cover with the squad here. The first one is: should clubs be forced to start a certain amount of homegrown talent?
Too late for that.
Mad Brexit, that is. That's mad Brexit.
Doesn't necessarily have to be just England.
No.
But it happens in China. The Chinese Super League, they have to start, I believe, I can't remember if it's 5 or 6. I think it's 6. Yeah. But the goalkeeper has to be Chinese.
And you know why they brought that rule into play, don't you? Because when they pumped all the money in and everyone was buying washed up European talent left, right and centre, no Chinese players were getting a game. And obviously you can't develop a national team. And I know people will say the same about the English league. We've got English players that are playing left, right and centre. Don't worry about that. But like, especially the Chinese league, like of course you're not going to have a Chinese right winger when you're paying Hulk 400 grand a week to be there. Like, be serious. But I don't think it needs.
Hulk also in action this morning as well.
For I don't think a rule like that. I don't think a rule like that would need to come into play. I mean, I think the Prem's got much better for it anyway. You look at teams like Bournemouth. Obviously they've gone down, but that was a predominantly English squad. West Ham, Sheffield United, West Ham. Chelsea this season were quite English. Like, we are massively English at the minute. Liverpool got quite a big British or English contingent. I don't think it's a problem.
I can't, guys, with Chelsea because Chelsea did a lot previously where they circumvented the process. From what they were saying to be homegrown, they then went out and they were paying. When that Christensen, they bought Christensen for like £1 million, way before he was on 40k a week whilst he was still in the under 23s.
Yeah, they got him from somewhere like SK Brand, didn't they? Or something silly like that.
Yeah, but no, he's classified as a homegrown. I'm like, they went out.
Well, Fabregas's class is homegrown.
Yeah, but this is what we were saying with the salary cap. There's just too many workarounds around it, man. There's way too many.
Can't do it. You literally cannot do it because they will find a way to get around it. They will circumvent around it. Absolutely. So it's one of the tough ones. It's great if you can.
What's the rule? If you're playing in the country or you've been living in the country for 4 or 5 years, you can claim nationality.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sign the guy, even if he's an established talent. You sign him, and he's one of your non-homegrown players. Once he's been there 4 years, suddenly he was one of your homegrown players. Now you bring another one in, and it's just too easy to circumvent. Yeah, you're right.
Do you think that?
Sorry, which player?
Do you think that there should be a certain amount of homegrown players that are playing for clubs in the Premier League?
It's too late for all that.
Yeah, it is.
In an ideal world, yes.
Could they phase it in? Could they phase it in and say, right, you need to start 2 this season, you start 3 next season, you start 4, and like maybe cap it at 4? Is that something that could work?
That could work, definitely. Because at the end of the day, like somebody's already said, the national teams will suffer for it. I read something this morning about Kyle Walker's going to get a call up again to the next England squad.
Seriously?
You got Wan-Bissaka and Trent. What's the point?
Yeah.
And Kieran Trippier, if you want to.
I've even had this conversation with you. I said I would literally.
To Villa?
That's been rumbling.
He starts every week. For Atletico Madrid.
Honestly, saying that about Walker getting an England call up, I've even said this to you. If I was England manager, I would literally, when you get to have him for training for the week or whatever, I'd take Wan-Bissaka and I'd take Trent and I'd say which one of you's got a half decent left foot.
Reece James,
because one of you's playing left back. I want to start both of you. So
Reece James is so astute at going forwards and going back, and he is like a tank as well.
Do you know what? Honestly, the whole thing is it is a bit Brexit.
He's number 3 in the list.
People will say that the reason the English national team has suffered is because the sudden foreign influx of foreign players and this and the other. We haven't won anything for about 60 years, mate. So what's the excuse for the last 60 years when there wasn't foreign players?
I don't think it's a foreign player
thing. We're just not
that good. I think it's an attitude thing because you know when we had our golden generation.
And what did we win then?
No, we didn't have anything because then it was like, well, the midfield. We knew we had 3 of the best central midfielders in world football at the time, but we were playing 2 in midfield. So one of them got bombed out wide. All the Man United players would sit with the Man United players. All the Arsenal players would sit with the Arsenal players. All the Liverpool players would sit with the Liverpool players. It didn't work that way. Whereas if you look at the Spanish national side, you know when they went on their 3-tournament spin of winning everything, that core was basically Barcelona and Madrid.
Okay. I mean,
they were just very good.
Hear me out, because when it was Barcelona versus Real Madrid, when they played against each other in El Clasico, there was drama, there was beef. We all know it, and there's loads of play-outs and all that sort of stuff. But they had a giant WhatsApp group. Yeah. Away from that game, they were friends. They all got on. They would all go around to each other's houses. They all got on with each other. England didn't do that, and that's where it went wrong. There was no cohesion.
So
that's where it went wrong.
Do you know? I think my main issue with that is, and like you're right, and the main issue with, especially while we do terrible at tournaments as well, when Spain were just like embarking and they were flying out to go to the World Cup or whatever, and like their national press was literally like, good luck, guys, bring it on home. We fly out to the World Cup, and it's at the front page of the Sun. It's like Wayne Rooney shags grannies, Frank Lampard punching in pubs. Like, we never want us to do well. Even when we got to a semi-final of a World Cup, which we shouldn't have even got that far.
Oh, yeah.
Even the tabloids then, they weren't even like, "Come on, England, bring it on home. Come on." It was literally like, such as Wayne Rooney's in a hotel at 2 a.m. in the morning having a drink. Like, it was just like, leave them alone, man. Just,
yeah, that's the media. That's the media. You know, and that's the media. Whereas, you know, they look, and we have to accept, guys, that the media have an agenda. All right,
yeah,
they have an agenda. You have, and prime example, you know, Raheem Sterling, he got a lot of bad press because he bought his mum a house. Imagine that.
Yeah,
you finally make it big, and you buy your mum a house, and you got bad press for that. He got bad press over a tattoo, okay, and all the rest of it, and blah blah blah. Right, that's what they do. But yet Phil Foden bought his mum a house, and what a wonderful kid, what a wonderful lad. We know what the issue is. We know exactly what the issue is. We
know exactly.
I'll say it right now. I'm the odd one out. Is what the issue is here. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing like with this Harry Maguire, Raheem Sterling thing. Like, someone showed the two headlines, and it was like, when Sterling got in trouble for something he wasn't even in trouble with, and it was like, idiot footballer, Raheem Sterling, blah, blah. And then Maguire's out in Greece just knocking people out at 3 a.m. because he's England. And it's literally like, where did it all go wrong for standing citizen Harry Maguire? And it's like...
Both those headlines were Daily Mail, though, weren't they?
Yeah, that is it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And again, we all know what the problem is. We all know what... It's not because one plays for one club and one plays for the other.
I definitely think that will be a different one for a different time. We've only got a few minutes left, and it's announced today that Luis Suarez is going to be released on free. He's not part of the plan for Ronald Koeman and Barcelona. So, where should Luis Suarez go?
There's one answer.
The Villa Revolution starts here from Adam O'Connor because they said about the Kieran Trippier. Yeah. Why didn't he go there? I don't think he will go there, Adam, by the way. I'm just saying.
I'll tell you where Luis Suarez goes. Luis Suarez goes and joins up with Blaise Matuidi, and he goes and plays for Inter Miami.
That's not a bad shout.
I reckon the Becks will talk. The MLS are allowed their designated player, or the MLS will pay the wages. Suarez isn't getting any younger. This season, he's been very immobile. If you saw his heat map from the Champions League game against Bayern, yeesh. I could see him going out to China or the MLS.
SJ, you shouted Liverpool. Would you take him back?
Yep. One season, absolutely. One season off the bet. It's that variation, and you got to think about it. Imagine Suarez with those three: Firmino, Salah. This would be madness. It'd be utter madness.
I'll get the feeling you'd probably like him, but I always look at that Liverpool squad, as nuts as it is. If it's 10 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, and this is going to come back and bite me because I know he scored some goals off the bench. But if it was a really desperate game and you needed a goal, like, can you bring on Divock Origi and just know that he's going to produce class? Like, I don't think you can. But if you had Suarez on the bench, potentially, I know Origi has scored goals.
That's the thing. He hasn't just scored goals; he's scored big goals.
But if you had Suarez coming off the bench. You know, if a chance
I know
falls
which one I'd rather.
like it's going in.
I'd rather Ryan Brewster. That's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. Don't hate Liverpool
quickly,
fans.
Anthony says back to Ajax, and I saw the odds for it today, and he's massively. He's
like 1-4.
No, it's 6-4 back to Ajax. He's heavy favourites. 6-4 Ajax, and the next best is any Chinese team 5-1.
Any Chinese team. Bloody hell. Trippier crosses for Suarez to nod it in for Villa to beat Arsenal 1-0, qualify for the Champions League. I'll tell you what, get me out. Get my house if that happens.
Adam, can you do me a favour? Like once this is done, can you just slide into my DMs and hit it with your plug? Because you want some of that good.
Omar, would you take him at Arsenal?
Yeah.
You know about the £40 before you all start.
Back in the social extra quid that you can get him.
He's getting a bit older, and he appears to be a bit slower, but it's up there. I'll take him for that all day long.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd have him on free for a season. I'd have him at United.
I was under the impression he was gonna go to Ajax though.
Yeah.
That's what's banding around at the moment. 6-4. Gamble responsibly, kids.
Not kids. Kids don't gamble.
Kids don't gamble. But yeah, it's 6-4 that he goes.
My lawsuit there.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Appreciate
so
that.
Has that been confirmed that they're going to actually release him?
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, pretty much. Actual, it's not just rumours. It's pretty much that's it.
Yes, it's.
I've been doing a lot
not part of the plan.
I've been doing a lot of reading up on Barcelona last week or so, especially since Koeman's come in, and I was under the impression they wanted Donny van der Beek.
There's a lot of talk about that.
And then, so for me, it would have made sense if there's some sort of exchange there, probably a little bit of money on top as well.
Yeah, there probably will be. There might be.
I thought he was going to go last season, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'll put Luis Suarez in this question, but it's also a restructure at Juventus as well, because you've got Higuain on his way out.
Yeah, Khedira been released. Yeah.
Now,
never rated him.
Which one? Higuain.
Higuain, never rated him. Never.
I did rate him.
I like Khedira. I've always liked Khedira.
Yeah, I did rate him.
He's slow, but he's very, very good.
Meticulous.
Good player. Good player, Khedira.
Yeah, I like Khedira. Again.
Never.
Again, Matic is getting on. We need to. I know we're looking to the future, and stopgaps aren't always the best thing to do. I'd take Khedira for free for a year.
Yeah, he's a guy that can just keep things ticking over.
Yeah, he does. He's a metronome. He does keep ticking over. He breaks up. He breaks up play really well. Do you know who? I just don't think he's very fashionable. But do you know who? One of my favourite midfielders to watch is Casemiro. Is an absolute just.
Casemiro's a walking yellow, man.
Yeah, he's a walking yellow, but he just honestly good. Any game he's in, he controls it and just keeps it.
Good player.
Yeah,
calm, man. He's so good.
Good player.
Very good. Are you looking forward to the imminent arrival of Thiago Alcantara?
Do you know what? I think good player. It's a bit of a break from the norm actually, because normally for the last couple of years we've been buying players of potential and then sort of developing and so on, right? So to actually get someone like Alcantara, he's class. Where does he fit in? Where does he fit in? I don't know. But if he came in, does that put a question mark over Wijnaldum? Is Wijnaldum going to Barcelona?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Koeman wants him and likes him, and I think that will be. And to be honest with you, I really like Wijnaldum. I actually see him on levels of like Kante with how much he does and how he moves around.
Underrated.
But listen, I don't think there's a club in the world right now, if you offered them Thiago for 25 million, that would say no. I don't think anyone would say no. I think Barca would have him back for 25 million. Like it's a steal. I know Klopp with the high press, and I know the way Liverpool play, they do play three very bog standard midfielders that just get the dirty work done. They like to give the ball out wide and whatnot. But there has been games, especially the Burnley game when you drew, but there's been times where you've needed someone to be able to unlock the defence with a pass or whatever. Thiago's the man. I mean, there was a couple of signings that Liverpool made. I was gutted when Liverpool signed Fabinho because I wanted Fabinho. Yeah. Love him. Again, if they sign Thiago, it's going to be like, not another one.
Another one.
But you got. I mean, I think we missed the trick with Bruno Fernandes. To be honest, I think
everyone did.
I think he's a good player.
A lot of clubs did.
Yeah. I think he's a good player. I think Fabinho. I know you guys were in for him, but I just feel that
we wanted him more because he can play right back. Because it was before we got Wan-Bissaka. That was what we wanted him for.
That's and again, like, I just feel sometimes I feel United. I just feel like, okay, you bought that player, but where it seemed like when Zlatan came in, fair play, he did well, but it actually hindered, it knocked Martial out of his stride for a season and a half.
It knocked him out of his shirt number as well.
Oh no! Absolute dick.
But yeah, it did. It knocked him out of his. There was a point in his thing. He looked so disinterested after that, and I can't understand it. I think. Any transfer you make, it's a gamble. Whether it's a pound or £1 million, £100 million, it's a gamble. But let there be some structure so some can see your vision. At the moment, Man United, I don't see the plan in Man United. I
disagree with that. I think Ollie actually has the vision and the plan now. He wants to play youth. He wants to play a certain way. We're not doing. If you look under Van Gaal, Moyes, and Mourinho, we were just doing Real Madrid and Barcelona. We were signing players because they were a name or because they'd had half a decent season. As much as I love him and he's an absolute legend, why on earth did we sign Bastian Schweinsteiger?
Yeah.
Why on earth did we sign Morgan Schneiderlin after one good season for Southampton?
Yeah, but at the time when you signed him, I bet you were over him. I bet you were bragging about it.
I was gassed, man. It's Bastian Schweinsteiger, man.
And there's my thing. Any transfer, $100 million. It's a gamble. Yeah. You're happy with it, and again, that's the thing with Man United. I don't know if it's for example, okay, Jadon Sancho. Everybody wants Jadon Sancho. That's not some sort of profound, insightful thing. Everybody wants him. He's a great player. Now you're saying, okay, you're not going to get him because, in essence, you could get him, but that means you've got to pay him 100 plus million for his fee alone, plus his wage, which would be 300,000. That's like 250 million on that deal alone.
Here's a question for you: Is Jadon Sancho better than Kai Havertz right now?
Right now, yeah. Right
now, yeah. Okay, so why is no one questioning that Chelsea are paying 90 million for Kai Havertz, but United paying 100 million for Sancho?
Because it's Man United.
But also, I need to say. I need to say also quickly, I've already admitted this already about 2 weeks ago, but it should be arriving this week. I've already ordered my Man United Sancho 7.
I'm probably going to keep that to yourself.
No, I've already ordered my United Sancho 7. So
I didn't want to put you up like that.
No, it really needs to, because I know this is going to drag on. We'll get him deadline day.
Next season, and he'll wear number 11. Honestly, number 11. So I'm number 7.
You are not getting Sancho, and it is. I'm not even funny, but look, Ollie calls me. Hey, SJ, it's Ollie. I'm saying, look, mate, I'm watching Coronation Street, mate. You got to call me back.
Yeah, but he's best mates with Rashford. His best mate. Literally before Dortmund flew out to their fucking excuse my language. Before they flew out to their pre-season camp, Sancho was in Manchester at Santan Dave's house with the
That's
rest of them.
because his dad was. That's his brother.
They were chilling.
We'll talk about Man United on next week.
They were
chilling. We can sit here for another hour and a half and wax.
I've already done it to myself. I've already ordered the shirt.
Exactly. We can sit here and talk for another hour easily about Man United. But
I bet you're married to Halle Berry as well. I bet you're married to Halle Berry. I bet you are, honestly. Fantasy.
I'm still into Halle Berry.
It's not Halle Berry, it's Keelan. That's
I'm still into Halle Berry. Going back off the cross, it was El Mohammadi for Wesley to score 17th. Right, got it right. There you go. Go for it, Omar.
Is Sancho worth 100 mil?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's worth 120, 130, 140, 150 mil. Easily, because you got to go how old he is as well and what he's already produced. The guy is an absolute talent, a world-class talent already. And he is in the top 10 best players in world football right this second.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Don't, mate.
Going back to the comment about people questioning Havertz, why people not questioning Havertz's price, but they're questioning Sancho. I wasn't actually under the, because I think he's worth it myself. Yeah, I wasn't actually under the impression that people were questioning his price tag. I was under the impression that United literally just couldn't afford it right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm questioning both, but like people are just all the press is saying. Like, what a good deal for Chelsea getting Havertz, but with the United one, it's like it's a bit exorbitant. Like they're being made to pay the price, and it's like, do you know what? Quickly, I know we'll talk about this all the time, but real quick, we also, as a club, constantly every year we top the Forbes rich list. We're constantly bragging about how much money we make. We've got 27 sponsors every day. We've got a tractor sponsor. We've got a noodle sponsor. You can't go around telling everyone that you've got all the money in the world. And then start wondering why people want a little bit extra money out of you. Like if we went for a night out, and I just told you all you lads I've won the lottery and had £1 million, you're gonna make me buy the rounds because I've been bragging about I've got the money.
Yeah.
So then you can't.
We're
now Dortmund want money.
But there's a couple of strands to this. I feel that when clubs are, I think FIFA Fair Play has been suspended for the time being because of COVID. And I if that's the case, I think Chelsea are exploiting that because they're in for Chilwell for whatever, that's 50 odd million. Werner's got their 50 million, Hayek is 40 million. Now Havertz is about 80, 90 million. Their income,
and Thiago Silva apparently as well.
He's on a free,
yeah.
But
Chilwell, don't they?
Yeah, but their income, their income wasn't that. And I think at the end of the day, there's so much that. There's money they could have spent and done, which would have been far better. It's just weird. Like you got people struggling. Like again, and this brings it back to the sort of social side of things and football. That it's not the football. That's actually a business, and they're spending copious amounts when people again like they're struggling. I'm like, okay, they're going to do that now. At the end, they go back to like the Havertz thing. Is he worth the money? No. Is Sancho worth the money? No. I tell you, he's worth the money. That Fran Torres, whatever, who's just gone to
21 mil.
Yeah, good signing.
Good deal, man. Good deal.
Baller.
Absolute brilliant signing. Before we go, before we go, United should sign Sancho and the Adama Traore.
Two words for that. Dan James. We've already got someone very, very fast that can run in the straight line and can't cross the ball. Next. Next.
That's all good. Hey, look, I'm Gav Mack. I'm sat alongside Steven Cotton with SJ up front with us, and in behind is Omar Zidane. Boys, thank you so much for being part of the show, and love to have you back on. When we put the titles on, if you hang around there for a couple of minutes, you can subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Top Football. It's going on the bottom of the screen. It's at Top Football on all social media as well. And make sure on the 14th of September you download Soccer Manager 21 from the App Store or your Google Play Store. And just before we go,
I'm just letting you know there might be a little. We might appear.
We might appear, but we're not allowed to talk about it, and that's why I haven't said anything. We might appear, but we might not. But did you know? If you put Top Football into Google, our name comes up first.
I'll do it now.
Nice.
And Jerome.
Congrats, guys. Nice.
Well done.